I should know what my kids are right there. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Don't look at them. Look over their head.
Support the students instead of community involvement. And you can see as a school board member's role and what makes you decisions. The school board will do.
For some kind of dress-up day. Or how to play that. Those two are funny. Good buddies.
Good times.
Yeah, they're good buddies. She cannot probably know what to do.
I can't keep track of what else.
That's just...
What is your purpose for running? I know we have some who are some current. That's he's rerunning, right? Yeah. Okay.
I can...
I had like a 903. Wow, terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it was,
How often did you do
as I remember, pretty low key. Like 5. There would have been 4 of us. Kip, Hart, me, Randy, Jordan. Yeah, we were in 2 years ago against Brad. I didn't even know Bruce Hall.
And do I need to get closer to
That would have
this?
been 2 years ago.
Can I bring this closer to me?
Colin was on the phone.
Yeah, he's done.
Sales.
How about we
Sell
warn them
little
at
skid steer,
30 seconds
fun toys.
or 1 minute? Let's warn, no, they get 2 minutes. So warn them at 30 seconds.
Well, I used to play in my singing box when I was
Away from my phone. So do you want to warn them or do you want me to warn them? I will just.
Keep going and argue like Trump and Hillary.
interrupt.
Ready? Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the members of the public joining us for tonight's board candidate forum. I'm Erin Pribble, and I was invited by the Bluffton Harrison PTO to serve as the forum moderator this evening, which is scheduled to last approximately 1 hour. To my right is Janelle, who will be serving as your timekeeper for the forum. If you submitted questions for the candidate prior to the forum, thank you for your efforts. Please remember, due to time and the PTO's discretion, all public questions may not be posed to all candidates. Lastly, welcome and thank you to the candidates for attending this evening. We have 3 board member races in this year's school board election consisting of 5 candidates. In preparation for tonight's forum, the Bluffton Harrison Elementary School PTO sent invitations to all candidates on September 30th, and the 3 responded as able to participate in tonight's forum. Mr. Michael Murray, and you're going to go by Mike, correct? Okay. Mr. Jared Gerber, incumbent, sitting to the far left, and Mr. Adam Alt, unable to attend, are running for the District 2 at-large position. Mr. Heath Schlagenhoff, incumbent, unable to attend, and Ms. Julie Thompson, sitting to the far right, are running for the District 3 position. Tonight's forum will operate in the following manner. Each candidate will be asked the same questions, and you will be provided 2 minutes to respond. Prior to tonight's forum, each candidate's name was put into a drawing to determine who would take the first question. Each question thereafter will be taken by the next board candidate in alphabetical order by last name. Lastly, candidates were not provided the questions prior to tonight's forum. Mike was drawn to be the first candidate to respond. Following the last question of the evening, each candidate will be provided an opportunity for closing remarks, but no more than 2 minutes. Are you ready to begin with your opening statements? All right. Mike?
Again, my name's Mike Murray. I grew up here in Bluffton, raised here in Bluffton. I'm a graduate of Bluffton High School in 1986. My wife Mary is also a graduate here at Bluffton, 1986. We have 2 wonderful kids. Katie is a BH graduate of 2012. We have Claire. She's a sophomore here at Bluffton High School. And then we have Lydia, who made it to 2nd grade. And, of course, she's no longer with us. But I was born and raised here. I've been able to be involved with the school through coaching, boys basketball, intramurals, girls basketball for Future Tigers. Also had the privilege of coaching 7th grade girls basketball for 3 years. I've also had the privilege of working, doing the PA announcing when Cole Meyer stepped down. I was able to have that position, tried out for it, and they thought I was good enough to do that, and I've been enjoying that and being involved. And I just enjoy being around kids and helping out and being involved with our teachers and coaches and things like that. And I'm looking to get more involved with this school and thought this would be a great opportunity to run for school board.
Thank you, Mike. Julie?
Hi, I'm Julie Thompson, and first of all, thank you, PTO, for allowing us to have this opportunity. I have lived in Wells County for over 30 years. I'm married to Doug Thompson, who is a Bluffton graduate of 1987. We have 3 wonderful children. Excuse me, always getting backwards. Alyssa Thompson, she graduated in 2013 and is currently a student at Ball State. Amanda is a junior, and Matt is a sophomore. I've always been active with my kids in the school system, going on field trips, participating with functions in the classroom to help them with their education. I've served on youth groups, Girl Scout leader for several years till Alyssa was in 5th grade, from kindergarten to 5th grade. So always been an advocate for youth, and that's really my initiative and my drive to be on the school board, is to be an advocate for the youth. I had a conversation with Mr. Barker several years ago that I would like to have this opportunity sometime, and purposely chose to wait till my kids were close to being out of school, so it would be fill in that spot for what I've done with my kids, that I could be active on the school board and support in that way. I serve on multiple boards throughout Wells County. I'm on the YMCA board. I'm on the nursing advisory board for St. Francis and IWU. Can't remember if I said that I've been at Bluffton Regional for 32 years, and currently the Chief Nursing Officer and Chief Operating Officer. So I think with my healthcare background and budgeting and strategic planning, I would be an asset to the school board.
Thank you, Julie. Jared?
Hi, I'm Jared Gerber. Appreciate the PTO and putting this on tonight, your efforts, volunteering, and does not go unnoticed. We're very thankful. And thank you, Mrs. Pribble, for moderating. I am an incumbent, and having the 4 years experience that I have on the school board has really driven me to be in this seat tonight. The experience of the 4 years that I have going through and understanding the different things financially, budgeting, law, negotiating contracts. Many of these things I've learned through the Indiana School Board Association. Have always been thankful and blessed in my life, and always wanted to give back. And this is one way that I feel that I can give back. Can't think of any better way than to help our future and our kids and our students. speaking of my kids, I have 3 children, Isaac, Caleb, and Audrey. They are here tonight somewhere. There's Caleb. And then my wife, Amy, our art teacher here in the elementary school. It's great to be connected in that way, having an experienced veteran teacher in the school system, understanding things from her perspective. It's been good. She's helped me a lot. There's questions that I've asked that I wouldn't have if I wasn't on the board. So just thankful to be here.
It's an alarm, not her phone ringing. Did you want to finish your sentence?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it. We'll begin with our questions. The Bluffton Harrison Elementary School PTO strives to provide additional support to the students and staff of the elementary school through events and programming. As a board member, how will you support the students and staff of the Bluffton Harrison Metropolitan School District? Jared, we'll start with you.
Especially as I was mentioning previously, we have a lot of mini programs set up in this school district that help BHMSD stand out from other school systems around us, that help give special attention to our students in a specific area of study. We have these programs because of students coming into our school district from the outside of our school district that help generate additional revenues that we can then add to the instruction in different areas, different aspects to our students. The different, different programs and things that our staff have creatively come up with. Recently, we just in elementary school, as an example, we were just recognized by the Indiana Department of Education for this PBIS here in our elementary school. We've kind of changed our way of rewarding our students by good behavior. These things are not just a whim, but they are a great practice, and it's helping our students.
Great. Thank you, Jared. Mike, do you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, please.
Sure. The Bluffton Harrison Elementary School PTO strives to provide additional support to the students and the staff of the elementary school through events and programming. As a board member, how will you support students and staff of BHMSD?
The PTO has always been great. When our kids were in elementary school, they had a lot of programs. The book fair, the donuts with dad, and muffins with mom. And those are things I always remember of getting to know the teachers more and getting to know the kids more. Definitely support that. I'm looking to get more involved. I don't know what all the things, since this is all new to me, I don't know what all the things the PTO does. I know some of the things that affected my kids when we were going through the school, but I'm definitely looking to get more involved and even help out at some of these events. I think it's good that the board members should be involved with those programs that the PTO provides to the children, to the teachers, and just to work alongside them in whatever they're doing. And I've always appreciated the PTO and what they've done for my children as they went up through the school system. And even look for new opportunities, maybe if I get more involved and help out and maybe even spearhead some of that. That's what I would look forward to. But I always appreciate the PTO, and having this forum tonight is great too. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Julie, would you like me to repeat the question?
I think I'm okay. Thanks. First of all, I've been very fortunate to have a good relationship with our children's teachers, and I think we have wonderful staff at Bluffton Harrison, and I would love to keep that relationship open and let them be free to come talk to me, ask questions, bring ideas to me that I could maybe take to the board in our meetings. I think we're very blessed in our community to have Bluffton Harrison. The programs we brought, the iPads and everything, we're leading the pack, I think, in Wells County in our school system. The PTO, again, I think it's tremendous. I never served on the PTO. I didn't have the time to be able to submit to that and give to that, but certainly support it. The trips that the kids are able to go on, many of them, I think Souder Farms, I went 3 years in a row to Souder Farm in 5th grade. Those are all such learning cultures and activities that the kids don't get in the school setting, and I think they're very important. I know the PTO is funded. They do fundraising and things to be able to provide those opportunities, and I think we need to continue to support that because sometimes those special little trips are the only thing some kids have in their life to be able to do, and I think that's important. I just want to be open and there for the teachers and the PTO. I want to be involved in the activities like Mike. I echo Mike. I think it's important for the board to be present in as many of those activities as they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. This next question will go to you, Julie, first. Describe your involvement with the school community. How has that prepared you to be a school board member?
As I stated in my opening statement, I've always been involved with the kids in their activities, whether it be on field trips. I believe it was Mrs. Sturgeon, 3rd grade class, many years I brought my antiques in to talk about the culture, pioneer times in the culture. I've always been supportive of that in that respect to the teachers. I lost my train of thought. As far as continuing to support that and in the activities that I've been involved in, I helped with, when Amanda was in basketball, I helped with the Bluffton Shootout. I helped Coach Grau with the concession stands in that role. Both of the kids are in band right now, and I'm the secretary on the band boosters, and both Doug and I were on the pit crew and just finished our last tour with our treks across the state of Indiana and even into Ohio. So I've always been very involved and want to continue to be involved. And even once my kids graduate, that's why I'm picking this time to do that, because they'll be out and on their own and in college in 2 years, and I want to be a part of that within the Bluffton system.
Thank you, Julie. Jared, would you like me to repeat the question?
Please.
Okay. Describe your involvement with the school community. How has this prepared you to be a school board member?
Well, as I didn't mention on the first question or first statement, but I am a lifelong resident of Wells County, and I have had a couple different businesses within the community in my career and my experience. It's helped me in growing up, literally, I guess, not in Bluffton, but in the community. My dad had a business, a grocery business, and didn't have a choice really to be sociable and take care of individuals and make acquaintances and customers. But having the businesses myself helped me to understand what was going on in different parts of the community, whether it be the industry, residential, just the ins and outs and what's going on, paying attention and hiring people within the community to work for me. As far as being involved, I've assisted the art teacher in a few different aspects in her events and different things that she does. Being involved with my children, different activities that they are involved in. understanding what what is going on not only in the school system but in the community has been an asset for me.
Great. Thank you, Jared. Mike,
Okay.
would you like me to repeat?
No, I think
Okay.
I've been involved ever since we graduated in '86. I've been involved off and on throughout the other 30 plus about 30 years now. This year, I've been involved in the football program. We used to scout when Ted Taylor was coaching, scout and help him and help the team out that way. So I've been involved in the football program. Also been involved, like I said, in the boys basketball program. Back when Kirby Overman was coaching, I helped out with the intramurals and that. I think that's what they called it then. And then we started having our family, and I kind of got involved with our family and kind of stayed away a little bit. Didn't have much choice with our daughter Lydia when she was sick, but did have a lot more involvement with the teachers during that time. And our teachers are very wonderful. Angie Sheets, and all her teachers that help her and that system. I got to know that system really well. And when I toured here and saw the new areas that they have here in the elementary that was brought by the new building, it just amazes me what they can do now. And then after that time, I got more involved with the girls' basketball program. They didn't have a coach, and so I stepped in and wanted to coach and help out any way I could because I didn't want the girls to not have a coach, so I stepped in to help out that way. And then now doing the PA announcing and things, just seeing all the teachers and PTO and everything that come together and work to help these events. I'm just looking to get more involved in any way I can to help out and be there for the teachers and for the faculty and stuff.
Thank you, Mike. The next question is, what do you see, and this is going to Mike, we'll start with you, okay? What do you see as a school board member's role, and on what will you base your decisions as a school board member?
I don't, as a school board member, I don't think you always have to agree on, there's going to be certain issues that maybe you're not going to agree on. I've been on our church board at the Nazarene Church. I think you need to listen to all the facts, listen to the teachers and what it's going to do for your students, and just weigh those options on, is it something we need? Is it something that's going to better their education? And just discern all those facts and come up with the best decision. You can't listen to what the popularity is going to, the popular decision isn't always the right decision. I think you need to be able to speak your mind, and, sometimes you have to agree to disagree, but then once the decision's made, you should get on board and help the other school board members and your faculty and staff and be there for them. And that's kind of what I see that as.
Thank you, Mike. Julie, what do you see as a school board member's role, and on what will you base your decisions as a school board member?
I think a school board member's role is to work as a team, first of all, as a school board, and look strategically where, working with the staff and the superintendent, and look strategically where the school system needs to go, what opportunities need to be brought into the school system to continue the growth and to continue what's best for the children. Some of those decisions, I'm sure, are very, very tough. I'm kind of used to tough decisions in the role that I currently have in my career. And I know that you have to weigh them out based on finance, based on the needs of the children. So my decisions would be based on, first of all, advocacy for the kids. I really think in the society that we have now, sometimes the school system is the only place that some of these kids have any safe harbor. I believe that it is a village to raise children, and I really think that that our number one priority is what is best for the children Bluffton Harrison, to turn them into leaders, provide them the opportunity for a college path or a technical path of any of those roles, and that's the role of the staff and of the school board. The other thing, other than advocacy for the kids, is the finance, because I know that there's different buckets that money comes from the school board. It's very confusing to me at this point to listen to the school board, but you have to watch that finance and make sure it's not going to strap the school system in the future. So very much a team effort.
Thank you, Julie. Jared?
I think the role as a school board member, one of our, I think about the different responsibilities or things that we do together as a board, what kind of is high on the list is one of our roles, and hopefully, is to hire a superintendent if there would need to be, and then support that superintendent, which our superintendent is here present, and support his role in administering the school district, in being there, maybe advising, but just mainly supporting the decisions he makes on a daily basis. What's placed before me, I think first and foremost, there's so many different things that we discuss in our meetings, but all decisions come down to what's best for the students in our system. You can think about the facilities, you can think about extracurricular activities, you can think about the different programs, our staff, but then it seems like it all comes down to just how that is going to benefit or affect our students. And I would like to add to that, right behind the students is, that's really high on my list, is the safety of everyone in our school district. So,
Thank you, Jared. Jared, the next question will start with you. What do you see as a challenge for our school district, and how would you address this challenge as a board member?
Well, we've had the challenge in the past few years, and I think we've corrected it by what we're sitting in. Our growth is great. It's been a huge, flattering thing that has occurred with our school district, and it's great. But we need to be cognizant of the learning space that those students are in. And so that was kind of a challenge in the past, but I think about the future, and if our programs continue, we continue to do positive things, could we see more growth? So I guess that's a speculative challenge, but one that to pay attention to. You're having change all the time with our legislation, our down at the State House with different things. It could be the standardized testing. So we have an election coming up, obviously, and we're going to be paying attention to who's elected to what office, and what their goals and ambitions are that could affect and the decisions they make that could affect us here at BHMSD. So how do we adjust to and still be able to provide for our kids would be something that could possibly be a challenge. The different things financially that we're facing, like to continue to focus on making sure that we're doing things as efficient as possible, and making sure our expenses are as low as they can be. So,
Thank you, Jared. Mike, what do you see as a challenge for our school district, and how would you address this challenge as a board member?
I think one of the challenges, which is already being addressed, is which I'm kind of picking on my daughter. It kind of affects her, is the dual credit system, and I like what our school board is trying to address that situation, and because I've been at several of the last couple of meetings where they've been addressing that with our teachers as far as them furthering their education to try to meet that goal. I think it might be in 5 or 6 years where they're going to have master's degrees and extra hours of education, and the board's already put aside that money to give that incentive to the teachers. And I think that's going to be huge for our school coming up in the next several years. I know Mr. Baker's on one of those boards that's spearheading and leading that, and I'd just be interested to see what that's. I think that's going to be one of the challenges for our schools, because I've talked with several of the kids that their families that graduated last year, and they're able to basically skip that whole first year of college with the dual credits that they're coming out with of high school, and that's huge. That's a big savings to the kids and the families, and I'm interested to see how that all works out. And I'm thankful that our school board is watching that situation for our kids. And also, I think technology. I know we've been leaders in that with the iPads and everything. And in our business, I've worked with a civil engineering firm in Fort Wayne, and we're always constantly having to look out for technology. And I think that'll be a challenge in the years ahead as well, because it's always constantly changing. And I like the fact that our school board tries to stay ahead of that and on board with that.
Thank you, Mike. Julie?
I agree with the growth. This building is a big piece of that we're meeting those needs. But again, the continued growth of what's going to happen in the high school system with the dual credits and the opportunities that are given to those students. And I do believe, I attended the last school board meeting, I think they have a great program in place to help those teachers go back and get those appropriate masters so we can have those classes. With my healthcare background, I tend to look at more the safety and what's going on in our society. The students have so many pressures and opportunities to get down the wrong path, and I think that, again, it takes a village to raise a kid, and I really think the school needs to. I think they're great. We have the DARE program and all of those programs, and people come in and talk to the kids, speakers, but a heightened awareness maybe for the teachers of what to watch for when they start seeing some of these things coming out in these kids. Back in my Girl Scout days, when I had the girls in about 5th grade, huffing, which is a precursor to drug abuse, and alcohol and tobacco abuse starts at age 8 in 2nd grade. Those are things that we need to be aware of because they are just infiltrating our society more and more every single day. Safety goes along with that, and I know the school systems have the drills for if there would be a shooter or anything, and I think those continually need to be repeated. The new addition to the door inside the school high school was a great addition for that. So I would say safety and the health and wellness of our kids.
Great. Thank you, Julie. The next couple of questions were actually submitted by the public. The first question, we'll start with you, Julie.
Okay.
What are your views on our current administration staff and why?
I think we have a great administrative staff right now. They've faced a lot of challenges. I know this building that we're sitting in is a challenge for them. A lot of people in the community were concerned with their taxes being raised, and especially our farming community, and I totally understand that. I'm a farmer's daughter and understand what that impact that has on you. However, I still will stick that it takes a village to raise these children, and I think they fought through that, and we have a great program and a great school right here for the elementary school. I know they've made some additions to the middle school this year. I've not had a chance to see those. I think they've led through some difficult situations with some differing public opinions. Legislation has been tough. I know the I-STEP test and all the requirements. My children live those and sweat. Are they going to pass that test that they need so they can graduate? All of those legislative pieces to keep an eye on, and it's huge to have Mr. Baker be a part of that at the state level, and I think that's a key piece. I think they're doing a great job, the administrative staff, all the principals. I think the schools are humming well. I hear that repeatedly when I'm in the activities with the band or the Bluffton shootout. Repeatedly hear at least 3 or 4 people every event talk about how great the school system is, and they want to come back. We went to DeKalb to a band contest, our first one this year, and I had my husband and I both had 2 people come up to us and talk about how great the programs are at the Bluffton school system. So they're doing a great job.
Thank you, Julie. Jared, what are your views on our current administration staff and why?
I think we've got a great staff. We do have one of our principals that has an interim label, so we will be replacing him again. And that's definitely a thought or a concern going into next year when we would be looking to replace him. So that is going well, though, in Mr. Gibson's interim position. And we're thankful to have him and thankful for the situation that we were in to be able to have that option. When I think about administration, I think about the graduation rate that we have out of our high school. As mentioned before, the different diplomas the different percentage, I guess, of the 3 different types of diplomas we offer. We have really increased the Core 40 or the College Ready diploma for our high school. And I think a lot of that is being helped by our administration in the high school. In the elementary school here, we have some different programs going on that weren't before, and they're doing well, and they're growing as far as preschool and the daycare. So some of these things that the staff is doing administratively, I'm all for, and they're doing real well.
Thank you, Jared. Mike?
Yeah, I think I echo Julie and Jared's comments. I think we have a great administrative staff. They're looking out for the interests of our kids and teachers. I've been coached by Mr. Baker in football. That was his first year here, by the way. I'll remind him how old he is. But I've had the chance to talk to some of them when we're at the games and stuff. And I think we have great staff. They're always looking out for the kids' education and what they need to be at the forefront and get a good education. They're also looking out for the facilities. We're in this nice new facility. I got to tour the facility. I know there was some uproar on how much money was spent, but this was definitely needed. If you've been in here with your kids and what it looks like now and how they've changed things in the kitchen, and I was able to talk to the kitchen staff and what they used to work in, I couldn't believe it. It wasn't even much bigger than the kitchen at my house. So I know we have to be responsible with the dollars, but the dollars were well spent, and so I think they're looking out for that way. And I'm just really looking forward to working with them. I think our staff administratively is one of the top ones in the area, I think. Again, I'll reiterate that, when they bring stuff to us, we need to have discussion and talk to things and work things out, and always work as a team aspect, like Julie said earlier. But I think they're really watching out for our kids and our staff and faculty. And I think if anybody has a great idea, I think they'd be more than willing to work with them. And I know they're very concerned about what people think, and I really appreciate them.
Thank you, Mike. We'll start with you again, Mike.
Okay.
What is your purpose for running?
My purpose for running really started probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was just talking to Daryl Elliott, who has this seat that I was running for. I lived in the same area, and Daryl and I were coaching girls basketball at that time. And I just kind of during that year, I'd sit with him and he would discuss things that were going on. And I just felt like someday, if the opportunity presented itself, I would like to get more involved with the school system to help the teachers and the educators and just see what's going on with our kids in our community. And being a graduate from here, I just want to be more involved with the hands-on of the school system and see how it works and what's provided for our kids and just become more involved. I've always been a person that's been involved with our church and everything, and I think our kids are blessed with the opportunities they have here at the school. And I felt it was my kids are growing up, and I have more time now, and I just want to get more involved. And I love being around kids, officiating, doing PA announcing. Forget the adults, the coaches, and the parents. I love the kids. The kids are honest with you, and I just want to be more involved to help them out and be a support for the faculty and staff here at Bluffton High School.
Thank you, Mike. Julie, what is your purpose for running?
I've had a lot of people ask me why I'm running for school board. Don't you have enough on your plate, they say. I'm a very service-oriented person. I have always been involved in things and think it's very important to be involved in your community. As far as why the school board, I echoed that in multiple times throughout my questions here. I'm an advocate for the kids. It's not uncommon when Alyssa was home that we very seldom had a night, and even to this day, do we very seldom have a night that we don't have kids at our house. Kids call Doug Dad and call me Mom, and I still called Mom by lots of people. They text me happy birthday and things like that. So I want to continue to be an advocate for kids. Our kids will soon be out of school. I had purposely waited for an opportunity till when our kids were a little bit older, so that I could continue to be that advocate for kids. I think Bluffton has a great school system to set through the orientation at the high school that I have sat through for many times now, and hear Mr. Barker talk about our Apple Awards and Mr. Baker talk about our the star ratings that we have, and we're very blessed to have such a school system in Wells County. It has been with the special education program that they have here at the elementary school, it truly attracted a physician to the community based on where I'm working. He chose to come to Bluffton because of the school system, that the opportunities that were available for his kids. So I just want to support it.
Thank you, Julie. Jared?
Well, I think overall in the big picture, this is a great organization. Why would you not want to be part of it? I'm sorry I have to reference this, but I think about the Chicago Cubs right now. Great organization when you want to be a part of it. A lot of good people. I mentioned it earlier, my kids and my wife, that is probably a decent percentage of my motivation for running. They're my life, and always around them. Want to be able to help them any way I can, and this is a way that I can do that. I got a big heart. Speak about. I have different passions and want to succeed and help. And think about this community. It was interesting. Sometime I can't place it exactly, but Tim Ellardine, that was our economic development leader, he mentioned several businesses when discussing in his role that went out of their way to talk about the schools in Bluffton. And I thought, that's saying something. That's getting out there beyond our community and affecting businesses that might possibly want to come to our community. That's awesome. So again, why wouldn't you want to be a part of something? I know we have the Wabash River and the Bluffton Street Fair, but it seems like the schools stick out, and that's great. So.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you. Those are all the questions from the public, so we'll go back to our forum questions. We just have a few more. Jared, we're going to start with you. What does being a supporter of public education mean to you?
Sorry. Well, it's their future. I mean, we're talking about many of us in this room, we're different aged, obviously, but we still have memories of when we were in school. Teachers that affected us did instruction and said things to us that we took with us for the rest of our life. We're taking with us for the rest of our lives. So that's our future, and how fast the future comes. Why not have a say or have some input in helping if you're passionate in supporting education, maybe having a say in shaping the future of public education. It's always changing. It's hard to even stay up with the different changes, whether it be funding or testing. It's always changing, but to have a little bit of a say and be a contributor, I think is important. I know those people that were in the school board when I was in school were making decisions and thinking of the future, and I appreciate that. So,
thank you, Jared. Mike, what does being a supporter of public education mean to you?
Well, I think we all as parents want to be supportive of our kids and want them to succeed. And the first thing you want them to succeed at is school. And I know when our kids were starting out, I was always involved with helping with their homework and stuff. And being a supporter of public education, it just sounds natural to me as a parent that you would want to support that. Like Jared said, going through the things in my life since I graduated, I can remember things that teachers had said to me or coaches that helped me through life situations. And Bluffton High School, I think, is a supporter of public education. They've proved that, and I want to be more involved with that. I think I'm only scratching the surface by going to the school board meetings and reading. And I've always been interested in what our school board has done. And just to see how education has changed since I graduated, and if it changes that much more, I just want to be there to support that and get more involved in the politics of it. I know that with the dual credit things, those are going to be interesting things to see what comes, but I just want to be a big supporter for our kids and that they get the best education possible, because it'll help you throughout what you're going through in your life situations, and it's just a big part of your life.
Thank you, Mike. Julie?
A supporter of public education, I think of a lot of people that's in this room, and it's the teachers, the principals that push these kids with their passion right behind of them. I think of Mr. Baker. I've heard the conversation multiple times since I've been to the orientation with the kids at high school. Dropping out of school is not an option in Bluffton. And to have that passion and to support those kids no matter what it takes to get them through, and that's the future. That's the future people taking care of us as the people in this room as we age. That's the future of our country. And to have that passion that these teachers have and the principals, Mrs. Meitzler, Rick's back there, they've all had a hand in molding the kids that have graduated and are currently in school. I had the opportunity to go to the Honor Society induction last night with Amanda, and to watch those teachers as they were asked to come and represent who was your mentor and has been your mentor to get you this far, and to watch those teachers when they stand up and the look on their face and the pride that they have. I just want to be a part of that. I want to support those teachers and support the activities that go along with it.
Thank you, Julie. Julie, we'll start with you with this next question. As an elected school board member, what do you hope to accomplish for the students of Bluffton Harrison MSD?
Again, with my healthcare background, what can we do for the health and wellness of the students? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong there now, but our culture is changing so rapidly. What can we do to support them? There's kids in this community that basically are raising themselves. They need the support of the teachers and of the faculty to help them. Their safety in regards to making the right choices and staying away from drugs and things like that. Again, we have great systems in place for that. I'm not saying that we don't have that, but we're going to have to keep advancing in that role as a school board and as a school system because of the things in society that are weighing against us. If you read the paper last night, a meth lab, and kids were involved. Kids were there. Unfortunately it's in our society, and it's in Bluffton, Indiana, and we need to face that. I just want to be a part of that and to promote that.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. Jared, as an elected school board member, what do you hope to accomplish for the students of Bluffton Harrison MSD?
I'd like to accomplish, more of what we have been. We've done some things as far as technology. We're out in front of many school districts in the state of Indiana as far as technology and what we integrate into the learning system for our students. I was just at our fall conference for ISBA in Indianapolis, and there's only 26% of the schools in the state of Indiana have one-to-one initiative iPads, K through 12. There's 10% of the schools don't have any technology. That's the future. Check out Pokemon Go this summer, but to stay ahead of the curve there, making sure that we're up on what is new, what can help our students grow as far as technology, I think is very important. The term that I'm finishing here, we got actually a couple grants, competitive grants, in respect to safety for our students and everyone in the district, and that's important to me. If we can continue to look at different things, whether on our property or just the systems that we have, that we're doing things that can continue to keep everyone safe. It's very important to me.
Thank you, Jared. Mike?
As a school board member, I just hope to accomplish being involved with the students as much as I can, being someone that, as you get involved with them, someone that they can talk to, also being there for the staff, the teachers, anyone, even the community. I think being, as a school board member, just being involved with that part of it, where they can come and ask questions, not be afraid to. I'm a good listener. Also, supporting on the forefront of the education part, the technology. I think that's going to change all the time. I think we need to be on the forefront of that and look at new things, new opportunities. Also, if there's problems that come up, I like to help people solve problems. Sometimes you can't always solve them. But I've worked on highway construction jobs where I've worked out in front of the community, and also worked with government officials, local officials, and watching budgets, and people have concerns. And I think that's one of the things I'm good at is listening to people's problems and being able to if I don't know the answer, to find solutions with others and be a team player. And I just want to get more involved with the teachers, the staff, and our students, and I want to get to know them better and be more involved with the internal part of the school. That's what I look to accomplish.
Great. Thank you, Mike. In closing of tonight's forum, each candidate has 2 minutes to provide any closing comments on issues or areas not addressed in tonight's forum questions. Since we left off with the final question with Mike, Julie, you will have the first opportunity for the closing comments.
Well, I feel like we covered a lot of territory tonight. I think, again, if I look at the past few years in the school system, this building is a true testament of what the school board fought for. Again, I know it might be a financial hardship on some people based on taxes, but again, we have to support our children. I think the school board and the school faculty do a tremendous job here, and very blessed, leading the pack in many, many different ways, and very prepared. The kids are very prepared when they leave the school. Alyssa is a senior at Ball State, and multiple times she has told me, "Boy, I am glad this happened at the high school. I'm glad this happened. I was so ready to hit Ball State and know what was going on." It's just a tremendous school system. Again, I'm a transplant to Wells County. I always thought when Doug and I were first married, I said, we're going to move back to Jay County, and I'm going to take my kids to Jay County because I'm from Jay County. I want my kids right here. I'm glad they're here, and wouldn't want them in any other school system.
Thank you, Julie. Jared, closing comments?
Yeah, it's to be in this seat is it's humbling. I'm not sure if I've ever publicly said it, but 4 years ago, I was was able to win a race and put on this board, or able to attain a seat on this board, and I'm very thankful. In the last month, the support that I've received, putting signs out in yards, it's very humbling. It's nice that you have the support for something that you're doing and that you're passionate about. I think about a few things going forward that I can see being a focus in the future with BHMSD. Want to make sure that we stay cognizant of the statewide teacher shortage, that is a focus, that is important. I believe the people in the State House understand that, but that is important. Maintain our facilities. As days go by, they continue to age. We want to maintain those facilities and be aware of those things. I want to say one thing. I think I kind of missed the first question, and a little bit. The PTO, one thing that sticks out in my mind every year is the book fair, and I want to state before I forget that I'm very thankful, as well as my children are very thankful for that program and what you guys do. I appreciate your vote a week from Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared. Mike, closing comments?
First off, I thank for having this forum tonight. It's been very informative. Like Julie said, we covered a lot of questions. I'm just looking forward to getting more involved. I have the fortune of running unopposed, so as long as my family votes for me, I guess I'll be in. So, and hopefully they will. So, I didn't know if I'd be unopposed or not, and I think people need to get more involved. I would have welcomed if somebody would have ran, and if they got voted in, I would have got right behind them. So I'm looking forward to getting involved with the students, the teachers, the faculty, staff, administration. My family has worked in the school system a lot of their lives, teaching, custodian, bus drivers. So we've been involved in this. Our family's been involved in the school system. I'm looking just to get more involved in the school board part of it, and what's best for our kids and what's best for our teachers And like Jared said, looking out for the facilities. We have great facilities here. We go all over with the basketball or band or whatever, and I'm amazed at the facilities we have right here in our community. Yes, I know we've spent money for that, and I'm sure the school board, I mean, if you see what we had before, it was well worth the kids to have that, and they're at the forefront of the education, the iPad. I look forward to getting more involved with that and trying to understand better what our teachers and kids are facing, and look forward to working with the community and people and just trying to solve problems and do what's best for our kids, and looking forward to helping them out.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you to all the candidates. Wonderful job this evening. Really appreciate your time and the responses during tonight's forum. Thank you to Bluffton Harrison Elementary School PTO for organizing tonight's event. This concludes the forum for this evening. I'm sure you'll be around if people have questions and would like to talk with you afterwards. Great. Thank you all so much for being here this evening.